As more and more people start to expose and learn numerology, we take a look at a case of a famous rapper called XXXTentacion, who lost his life back in June the 18th, 2018. He was born on the 23rd of January 1998. Join me as we do a numerology reading and find out what we know about this rapper and his background without knowing the person and individual himself. We also take a look at an exclusive interview with his mother, and we find out how he was learning about numerology and putting it into practice. Hi there, and thank you for joining me for another video at Mr. Freemason. If you're new to the channel, here we decipher and decode numbers that are present in the media, historical events, and also we find out what a birthday tells us about an individual and potentially when their life might end. XXXTentacion was a famous rapper in America. He was only young when he lost his life, and the surroundings surrounding losing his life are mysterious to say itself. He was born on the 23rd of January 1998, and if we take his birthday, the 23rd, and add it together, gives us a number of 5. Added to the month, which is a single digit of January, which gives us 6, the number of home and family. But if we add his number up altogether of the 23rd of January plus the January 1, add them together giving us the 6, and then take his date of year of birth, which is 1998, and add that all together as single digits, and add it to his birthday and the month, it gives us a total number of the influencer, number 33. Also, if we took the date that he lost his life of June the 18th, 2018, and we add that up all together, that gives us a number of number 8, the number of wealth and money. He lost his life on June the 18th, and if we take the 18th date that he lost his life and add it together in single digits, it gives us the number 9. Number 9 is represented in numerology as the number of beginning and endings. This is why you will find it's in 911, 999, and it was also represented in 911. If you're new to the channel here, don't forget to smash subscribe and be part of the family and community. And without further ado, let's get straight into the interview.
Today on the GG33 podcast, we are on location in this beautiful home, and we're here with Cleopatra. Who are you?
I am the mother of XXXTentacion.
A famous 33 life path. And he is the one who puts you in this beautiful home, correct?
Absolutely.
You know, everyone knows, they've seen a whole bunch of documentaries on him. Let's talk about stuff that no one's ever talked about. Your son had a great love for the occult, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Did he ever mention numerology, astrology, tarot to you?
He did, all the time.
Tell us how those conversations went.
It didn't go too well because I was raised in a Christian home, and it was just not something that I was interested in, so I was always dismissive. He believed that everything is written in the stars and, you know, all that stuff, and he had a lot of books on it.
And what years are we talking about here?
16, 17, on up.
Okay, and you weren't trying to hear any of it?
I wasn't trying to hear any of it. I didn't start getting into that stuff until after he passed away.
Is that one of your regrets, that you should have listened to him a little bit more?
100%.
And that's what you got me over here for now. Tell people how we got acquainted.
Oh, wow. Okay, so I found you on Instagram and was watching some of your clips, and a lot of things that you say just make sense and it resonate, and I reached out to him on DM and I was like, I don't want any of your students, I want you for me.
My students are really good too, but I do appreciate that because they got trained by the best, so they would be good. But I do understand. When I talked to you and I gave you that reading, I didn't know who you were.
Did not at all.
I didn't know who your son was.
But everything was so on point that at the end...
Mm-hmm. You told when you gave me your son's birthday, and I started reading him, and I said he was a 33 life path, and I said this is an influential person. I had no idea who it was.
At all.
And then you were telling me, wait till
we're done,
and I'm going to tell you who it is because I had no clue.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not surprised at all. I'm looking around. I've done my research on who he was. I'm not surprised at all. I have students, my students, who have told me he influenced them to go into the music. You know, our bodies go.
Right.
We're all going to go at some time.
Right.
But the influence we live in on this planet is eternal. I mean, think about this. Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar. They're not dead because people always talk about them.
Absolutely.
Your son is doing the same stuff in hip hop. When he was telling you about astrology and you weren't too receptive to it, what was your thinking? Oh, I'm a Christian, I just can't listen to this?
Yeah, I grew up in a Catholic home and, Catholic church and just everything.
The Bible says.
The Bible, right. And I was just looking like, where did you come from? Like, how are you interested in these things? So, I didn't really, like I said, get into it with him. I just let him do his thing. And
I don't want to turn this into a theology discussion, but when people look at the Bible and, the Bible says the animal kingdom,
right,
it could have been referring to astrology and all the animal signs.
Exactly.
So, maybe if people look a little bit closer. They'll see that
it's
numerology and astrology is all over the Bible. As a matter of fact, it's all over all the holy books.
Yeah.
I mean, all the holy books have numbers in it. So if the people say my numbers and numerology is from the devil, what does that say about your Quran, your Bible, and your Torah? Tell us a little bit about your spiritual evolution, because you said you used to be very religious. I'm assuming you still believe in God, but maybe not.
I do believe in God, but I think I'm more so spiritual than religious. I don't believe in religion. Look at what's happening right now in the world with the
When did that switch happen?
The shift happened after he passed away. After he passed away, I think that I became even more interested in understanding his mind. And then I started really paying attention to his books, and then I started I'm a YouTube junkie when it started looking into dates and numbers and understanding Chinese astrology and pulling up even 15 and Aquarians and my personality, and I'm like, how is this possible when I'm reading this book? It's yourself, so know when something makes sense. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm reading it and it's telling me everything about myself. And I'm like, okay, what else? So it's that's kind of opened it up for me.
Okay, so you've been on this journey for the past 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. When it comes down to astrology, that's something you've been looking into for about 5 years. What about numerology itself?
A little bit of numerology. I still don't understand too much, but I know enough.
I'm trying to help you out there. Your son gifted you a book.
Yeah, Power of the Eight.
Power of the Eight. When did he give you that book?
He gave me that book, I believe, in 2017. He actually went and bought it himself to gift it to me.
And did you know that you
at the time that I was an 8? No, I had no clue.
Did he tell you where you were 8?
No. He just said, I want you to read this book. 2 books, actually, The Alchemist and The Power of the Eight.
Do you have any doubt in your mind that he knew you were 8 life path and he gave
you that to you? He knew. He would often say things that I, dismiss back then. Say things like, you have no idea who you are. You don't even understand the power, that you have. He would say stuff like that and I'd be looking like,
you crazy dude.
Yeah, what are you talking about? But he was big on your name, the power of your name even.
Okay, and your name is Cleopatra. Has that been your name since birth, or they named you Cleopatra in Jamaica? Okay, can you show everyone your necklace?
My necklace.
Right there. So you have a snake.
Yeah.
Watch. The reason I'm bringing that up is because the snake bit Cleopatra. Is that symbolic of why you wear that watch?
No, not at all. It's just a coincidence. But nothing is coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, right? Yeah. I used to always wear the hair too before I even understood that was her hair, and I did the wings on the eyes and all of that stuff just automatically. And I'm also very, very interested in everything Egypt.
Have you ever been to Egypt?
I've been. And I've been in an actual pyramid.
How'd you feel in there?
Amazing. I love Egypt.
You go there often?
No, I went once. I would want to go again.
And how often do you go back home to Jamaica?
Maybe twice a year.
Twice a year? Okay. So the family still got roots down there and everything.
Yeah.
You and your son lived in Florida pretty much your whole life?
We did.
Did he do any traveling? I mean, I know he did.
Not outside of the U.S.
Okay. Is that something he wanted to do?
He wanted to, yes. But he also hated flying. He hated
flying.
it. Both of us, I don't know, maybe we died in a plane crash in our past life or something. There's definitely something there. Crazy a phobia.
Planes haven't been around that long, so I'm not sure the reincarnational cycle works, that closely. But maybe it's the fact that
we're not in control.
Yeah, sometimes when people are control freaks, they need to have control of everything. And was your son a control freak?
He was, yeah.
So it was his way or the highway, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell us, besides the numerology and astrology, is there anything else he tried to push on you that you said, yo, I'm not having it?
Numerology, astrology, no.
That was the only thing.
That's it. He wanted me to understand who I am, who we are, why we're here. Like, this is just not, this is a system. This is not just, you're born to work and die and be on a treadmill. He felt like the school system was a prison. Like, his mind was completely different.
Yeah, I started understanding the school system was a prison around, I don't know, I was 14, 15, because in math class, they would always say, show your work.
Yeah.
I could just do it in my head. Like, when you give me your birthday, I don't need to.
Yeah.
I just do it in my head.
Yeah.
So I remember when they kept me after school, and they said I was cheating because I didn't show the work. They said I was copying someone else. I stayed after school. There was no one else around. I did all the answers, and I didn't show any work. I'm like, who's that copy from now?
Yeah.
So I always had a problem with authority, too.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was quite as aggressive, maybe, as your son.
Yeah.
Did he ever have any trouble with the law?
Boy, did he ever. Yeah. A lot, all the time.
Tell us some of the conversations you would have had with him after you bailed him out, or
oh my God,
something like that.
I would just be screaming and cursing in Jamaican, That's it. I would just curse him out in Jamaican,
What did he say, Mom?
It didn't work. Like, he's gonna, like, my son just,
Could you control your son at all?
No.
No. Do you think it was just that he was that dude that was not controllable, or is just
he was not controllable,
or you're just a single mother that can control?
No, he's just not controllable. I think also he felt like we reversed roles in this lifetime.
He felt like he was your father.
He felt like he was my father in my last life.
And he felt that he was here to guide you instead of the other way around.
I don't know what he thought in this life, but he feels like he was my dad in our past life. He said that on multiple occasions.
How old was the first time when he said that?
Oh, what was he, like 15? I actually have a video on my Instagram of him talking about school, and when he first started being conscious as a kid, saying, "Oh my God, fuck, I'm back in this realm." It's on my Instagram right now.
He said that.
He said, I'm back in this realm, and he talked about, being in the school and being in the system and stuff like that.
Did he talk about past lives quite often?
Not quite often, but he does believe that, he believes in it, for sure. He believes that energy cannot be destroyed, so even if he passes away, that he will return. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that he told me that kind of stick with me is that he said, when I die, I'm going to come back through you. I'm going to always choose you.
He's going to come back through you. What does that mean?
He said he picked me to be his mother in this lifetime, and he will always pick me in every lifetime.
That's some deep shit.
It is.
Wow.
Yeah.
What were you thinking when you have a child his age telling you this stuff?
Just thinking weird, at the time. Just thinking weird, but okay. I love that,
I mean, you knew he was special, but when he said stuff like that, you pretty much dismissed it?
Dismissed it, yeah, because, you're not conditioned in that way. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it seems very far-fetched. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? When he says these things.
Even though he died very young, tell me about his evolution as a man.
It was very rapid. Very, very, very.
Like, when did it start to when?
He started giving issues, I think, at 13. But it was like really bad and drastic, and then turning into 19 into 20, it's like overnight, just a different person.
Did you have any doubt in your mind that if he actually was still alive right now, he would have superseded Jay-Z,
100%. 100%.
Do you think they felt that too?
I can't speak for them how they feel, but I think everybody knows because even right now...
They were all reaching out to him though, weren't they?
Yeah. The other day, SoundCloud put out their numbers, and I believe he was number 6 still in the world. He passed away 5.5 years ago.
5.5 years ago, and he's still
number 6 in terms of doing numbers. Yeah.
Your son's a martyr. Mm-hmm. Do you believe that?
I believe that.
Did he tell you that he was going to be a martyr?
No, but he said you're going to see how genius I am when I passed away.
Do you think he expected to pass away?
Oh yeah. He talked about that all the time. Talked about it all the time, and he told me that he wasn't going to make it at 21. Me and plenty other people all the time.
Stop.
Yeah.
He told you a number of times he wasn't going to make it
to 21.
Was he joking? Was he serious when he said that?
He was always...
I said stuff like that too.
He was always serious, and that would piss me off. And why it would piss me off is because he believed in manifesting and he believed in the power of the tongue and all of those things. And I'm like, you're contradicting yourself because one moment you're saying that, like I'll laugh and I'll be like, don't give me a heart attack when he do certain things. And he'll be like, don't say that, take that back. He would always say that to me. So I'm like, why are you saying that? Like, you're literally putting that out. And he's just like, I'm not just saying it, I know. He would always say that.
And he's then very confident when he said that.
He would always say that.
That's exactly what happened.
And that's exactly what happened. Crazy shit that nobody knows. The day before he died,
talk to me.
That night, he went to Walmart by himself and bought a shitload of white candles. Left them in the house by the fireplace. Those were the candles that we ended up using for his candlelight visual 3 days later. I swear to God, I can't make it up. We actually have...
How many candles?
I don't remember the number, but it was a lot.
I wish you knew.
It was a lot.
He bought... Did he
white
ever do
candles.
anything like that before?
Never.
So he bought a whole bunch of
candles. White candles.
The day before he died.
The night he bought it that night, he died the following day. That's why it had me like thinking like, was he threatened or did he know something that I didn't know or he didn't want to tell me because he didn't want to scare me? It was weird because
When you gave me the birthday, he died. And say it again.
June 18th.
2018. I looked at that day, and based off the Illuminati, Babylonian Brotherhood, New World Order, whatever you want to call them, that's not usually the day they take people out.
So he was not a industry sacrificer.
I personally do not believe he was an industry sacrifice.
Okay.
I look at, when people like Michael Jackson, people, get taken out, and they usually have certain type of numbers around them, certain type of master numbers. I don't see that here. What I do see is a lot of martyr energy in that date. I see quite a bit of martyr energy in that date. We know your son was very into numerology, was very into astrology.
Is it possible that he knew from that?
Yes.
Well, his chart, his birth chart?
Is it possible that you think, because you're around him,
right?
Is it like a couple of days before he goes, was he acting funny? Anything different?
Like I said, he went and bought the candles. He wanted me to paint his nails black that week, but I had to go to LA, so I didn't get to do it. He also said he wanted me to find him a monk. He was like, I want you to find me a monk. I'm like, a fucking monk for what? He was just like, I want a monk.
Why did he paint his nails black?
I don't know. I have no idea. And then he had a conversation with his aunt.
White candles and black nails.
Yeah, weird.
So in letterology, gematria, white, if you take W equals the 23rd letter, you break it down to 5, it adds up to an 11. Do the same thing with black. B equals 2, L equals to 12, break it down to 3. It also adds up to an 11. If you go to Freemasons, they always have a checkered floor. Yeah. They always have a black, white, because that's 11-11. You understand?
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. So they basically have a frequency within that. So I'm looking at white candles, black nails, and then he goes in a few days. Maybe he actually knew something. Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe he said something. I don't think he was threatened.
Yeah.
Because if you're threatened, you don't act in those type of ways.
Right.
I'm thinking that maybe he just somehow knew that something was coming.
Yeah.
Maybe he just wanted to be a martyr.
So he believed that, by the way. You pick your date to come to this realm. You pick your death date. He believes in all that
and
stuff.
And he told you. So again, he didn't think he was going to live to 21. He told you that many times. He also bought a whole bunch of white candles the night before he died.
Mm-hmm. And he had a conversation with his aunt, and just randomly saying, you know, if I ever was to pass away, I don't want to be burnt. I don't want to be buried.
What ended up happening then?
He's in a mausoleum in the wall.
That's what he wanted.
That's what he wanted. I'm thinking that's what he wanted if he didn't want to be burnt. And that's the Egyptian way, right?
If you don't want to get burned
or buried,
you're
going to be...
There's pretty much no other way to do it.
When I went to the where he's buried, they had one mausoleum ready.
Are you kidding?
It's underwater. It's underwater and it's facing the east. What's the significance of the east? The sun rises every morning in the east, right?
100%.
There's no coincidences, right?
There's no coincidence. I'm trying to tap into his mind through you, you know, in the last couple of days of his life. And I'm just thinking, you know, based off everything you're telling me, maybe somehow he knew he was going to go and he's doing everything he can to be a martyr.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Did he think that he was on the planet to change it?
Yeah, he did. And which is weird, right? Because he started out, I don't know if it would be good if you have seen the documentary, but he started out doing some wild shit, like street fights, like just crazy shit. But it got him the attention that he wanted, right? And then once he got the attention that he wanted, he totally flipped the script.
So let's go back to this genius, okay?
Yeah.
Before he's famous, he's getting in street fights.
Street fights, like, you know, you name it. Always in, you know, problems with the cops, like the whole nine.
He
created his bad boy image,
and he
basically.
did that on purpose.
He did it on purpose.
To get a crowd. Because he actually wasn't like that.
Yeah.
But he found a way to get his foot in the door and by being...
No, I think he was like that. What?
No,
I think he was...
I'm asking.
Yeah, I think he was like that. I don't think it was a front, but I think, you know, maybe the growth or the evolution or whatever you want to call it, at some point, you know, something clicks like, okay, it's time. You already have...
Was that his... Did he tell you that was his plan?
No.
Okay.
He didn't tell me that was his plan. He spoke about it after. Okay. He said, I started doing shit that I know would get the kids' attention. The fights, the this, the that.
When was this happening? When did these fights happening?
Oh, he started early at 15, 16, 14, street fights.
So he's getting his internet fame.
Yeah.
Building it up. And as soon as he has his fame, he switches.
Yeah.
Tell us when that switch happened.
The switch happened, I would say, because he was still getting into shit in 2017 when he got out of jail. He was still getting into shit. And then, like, 2019, he got out in 2017. Like, late 2017, the switch happened.
And he said,
leading into 2018.
Going into 2018, what did you notice that was different? About him? He was more of a leader.
First of all, he had a half and half hair. That's when he was a tyrant, right? And he said the hair represent light and dark.
Okay.
Then he led into the white hair. That's him, like, now shedding his old ways and coming into all right, I have a responsibility to these kids. And blue hair is when he's arrived. You literally saw the changes.
Did you see a personality change?
Oh yeah, 100%. He got calm. If you watch majority of his performances, he was always telling the kids like you guys are fucking superstars. You guys are all gods. You know, he would always he was the only person that I've seen doing that at the time. I see other people copying it now, but he was the only person that was like telling the kids like, you guys are stars. Like you need to know this. You know what I mean?
When was the first time that you went out with them and people were just
well,
how? Because I'll just put it out there.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not anywhere near your son's star power, okay? But I've been to restaurants with my wife and kids, and women just walk out the blue and like, oh, Garrett. So I can only imagine when you have this level. What was that like?
It was pretty shocking. I think, I don't even think he understood himself because, like I said, he was locked up when he got famous. He was locked up in jail for a year. He got out in 2017, and we decided that we're going to do this pop-up concert in one day down in Wynwood. That shit was crazy. I've never seen anything like it. They literally had to shut it down because there's kids in the street, and I couldn't get to the car. It was so bad.
The day you knew, right?
Yeah, it was so bad. When I finally got to my car, the kids were like shaking the car. The police had to come and like take him out and put him in the middle of two cop cars and escort him, and I had to go pick him up from the police station. People thought he was being arrested again, but it was just unsafe.
It was unsafe.
It was unsafe, yeah. And that's when I knew. And then when I realized he really made it is we went to Boca Mall and we were in Gucci. And I'll never forget it. Within, I don't know how the fuck these kids found out that he was there. They had to close the doors in Gucci. And I never knew that they had like back doors that you can lead through to come out, like hallways in between the walls to get out to the, outside until that day.
Is that the day you started getting security for him or something like that? Bodyguards?
I always told him that he should have security. He was more so on me having security, which is weird.
I can understand that. Yeah. I can't 100%.
Yeah, he.
But he never had security himself.
Yeah, he would have security sometimes when he's going to like big shows or certain things. But I think part of him wanted to be a regular person too, so he would want to run errands and do this stuff around town. And I'm like, bro, you can't do that. But his thing was, you need to have security. I'm like, I'm not famous. Like, why do I need to have security? But he was hell-bent on me having security.
Did you listen to him?
Which is weird. Listen, I didn't have a choice. He would have the security guard at my door every morning at 6 o'clock sitting out there waiting. Whatever errand she got to run, if she got to go to the grocery store, get her hair done, like he's just ordered to be there. Whether I liked it or not.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he's a Debo type. You're doing it his way or the highway, right?
With certain things. He was, I don't know.
Was he soft with anywhere except you?
Soft with anyone?
Except you.
I think he had his time because he was also very very giving. Always wanted to do help people. He did a lot of shit behind the scenes that he never publicized.
Was he materialistic?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's the craziest thing.
He didn't care about money at all?
Never. He would wear Toms, I think they're called. Wear the same clothes 2-3 times for the day, like 3 days in a row. Never really cared about jewelry or anything like that.
So he would never be the Rolexes?
None of that shit. In fact, the necklace that he had on that day that they tried to rob him, I gifted him that necklace because I was just like you need to get something nice. Like, you're a superstar.
The gold. Like, she wants to put some gold on him.
I'm like, you're a superstar. You do so much for everybody. You don't even have a nice necklace or whatever. So I gifted it to him, and yeah.
Let's go back to the day he passed away. When you heard the news,
yeah,
obviously you're saddened. How quick did it take you to think, well, he said he was going to make it to 21? How quick did that hit you?
Man, honestly, it didn't hit me at all because I was just in fucking shock. Like, I was just like, wait, what? Like, even when the police told me, like, he expired, he was so callous.
They said what?
He expired. He was so callous when he
cop
told me that he expired. Yeah.
Oh, you're a piece of garbage. Whoever that was.
Yeah. He was like, he expired. I'm like, what? What do you mean? But then after that, like, I really believe now in out-of-body experiences. I've always heard people say it, especially in court, and I'm like, yeah, right. Like, no, I had that for real. I went through that for real, out-of-body experience, like, completely, like, zombie gone completely.
When did you start putting together, he said, oh, I won't be here at 21?
I think I was so grief-stricken for a while that maybe I started really thinking about that type of shit. 8 months into a year down the line.
Is that when you started getting into numerology?
Yeah,
astrology too?
yeah. I started like trying to figure him out and trying to see if there's a way that I can contact him. Like, it's weird. I started seeing all these spirit boxes on YouTube and people. Yeah. One of them, I actually heard his fucking voice. It sounded like his voice. I don't know if they're playing or how they did it.
I'd be very careful with gypsies.
Yeah, no, I mean, I haven't reached out to anyone, but I just, was like listening to that type of stuff and.
You're in grief. You didn't know what to do. You're listening to crazy ideas, right?
Yeah, but he also was giving me like crazy signs, like a week after he passed away, and I wasn't able to see him for a whole week because his head was swollen, right? And they said that they can't let me see him like that.
What?
Yeah, his head was swollen. They wouldn't let me see him. So a week later, when I finally went to see him, I think his spirit followed me home or something because I smelt. So what they did, how they embalmed him, or they did something where they able to put him in the wall and he doesn't rot, right? You dehydrate, but you don't rot. So if we should pull him out right now, he would have everything intact. But whatever process they use, whatever chemicals, I smelt it the whole day in the house. And then a few days later, he turned the light off on me in his room. I was in his room, in his bed, and the lights start dimming until it turns off. And I sat up like a fucking zombie, like, what just happened? Because I got scared for a minute. I was going to run, and then I'm like, it's him trying to, And then the light, it came back on and slowly went back to where it was. Do you believe in that kind of stuff?
I mean...
Have you ever seen anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
But... there's the logical side to me, and there's the other side, like, was the power out in the rest of the house? Those are usually... It's
a maestro switch. You have to tap it for it to even get to, like, it dims, or, it's like,
have you had any other experiences like that?
I've had a heart in the sky that's on my Instagram. A fucking heart in the sky.
What about on his birthdays? Did you maybe any type of messages on his birthday?
Nothing on the birthday, but on the death day.
On the death day.
Death day. I have it. I have the video I can show you right now on my phone. June 18th, exactly a year after he passed away. I had a double rainbow outside, and it landed on my house. Usually you can go to the back of the house and see where the end is. It was on top of my house. Double rainbow.
Any doubt that's him?
Of course, 100% that's him. 100%. And I also felt him sit on my bed one night when I was sleeping. I felt the bed just like, when someone sit on a bed? I felt that. And then I also have a video on my phone. A friend of mine bought me one of those bears, the Build-A-Bear. And she put a voice box in the Build-A-Bear. She was able to extract his voice some kind of way. And it says, I love my mom to death. She's the apple of my eye. Because he did an interview where he says that, right? So she pulled that part and she put it in the bear. And one day I was getting a massage in the room, and the fucking bear, you have to squeeze it, by the way, for it to talk. The fucking bear starts talking on its own. And I was able to capture that on my phone.
So he's definitely sending you messages.
He's sending me messages.
Knowing what you know about your son, was this his whole plan from the very beginning?
100%.
He wanted to get martyred. He wanted, because I looked at the day he died, June 18th, and I looked throughout history, and there's a history of revolutions, one in Egypt that happened on that day, not the same year, on that day. So I'm thinking that if he knew that he could tap into that energy, maybe that's the day he chose to go, because he would know that his energy would be connected with revolutionary energy. Yeah. Does that make sense to you?
It makes sense, 100%. There's a song on the last album that he actually curated, and it's called Train Food. You need to listen to that song. He basically describes the day he dies. He says, I think he said, I was dressed for winter weather, but the summer rays was kissing me, right? He died June 18, was the peak of summer. Kids were just about to get out of school. He had on a hoodie with a Gucci jacket on, and he spoke about seeing his killers in the song. He spoke about, you could have had a son or a daughter. He spoke about dying that day in that song. It's eerie.
I've heard similar experiences from similar 33s.
Yeah.
Obviously through their relatives and stuff like that. Some have told me themselves. When I look at 33s, and I'm a 33 as well, I know the main objective is of 33 is to influence the world in some way, somehow.
Right.
Whether it be Albert Einstein with nuclear energy, whether it be the Wright brothers with flight.
Yeah.
You know, could you imagine where we'd be right now if we didn't have airplanes, electricity with, damn it.
Tesla?
No, Tesla's a 9 life path. Edison. Edison's the 33 that did
Gotcha.
But if you know Tesla's 369, that actually is a 33. It's a hidden 33. No one's ever going to figure it out. But 369 is a hidden 33, I can assure you. When I look at Jesus, if he existed, which most people believe he did, he died at what age? 33. So when you have that energy, you're able to change the world.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying every 33 is going to change the world, so don't even start people who are listening. The point is, a high percentage of 33s will do their thing in whatever their chosen field is. Whether it be numerology, astrology with me, or R&B, rap, or music with somebody else. The 33s will always find a way to get things done. Let's talk a little bit about you now. You are 8 life path 2/15/1980. When I talked to you the first time on the phone, you said you were a goat.
No, I said I was a monkey.
You said you're a monkey.
Metal monkey.
I said you said you're a monkey, and I looked at your picture. I'm like, monkeys don't look like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So a goat does tend to be the most attractive sign. It doesn't seem like you have much makeup on.
No.
This is how goats are the natural ones who don't need the makeup.
Yeah.
See how that works? But not only you are 8 life path, you're also a goat, which is the 8th sign.
Oh, wow.
Goats,
the goat is the 8th sign. I didn't know that.
Bill Gates has it. Bill Gates is a goat.
No way.
So
and he's an 8 as well?
Oh, he's a 28.
Oh, he's a 28.
So 28 is a number of wealth. So that's why 6 of the richest 23 people in the world are born on the 28th. Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Carlos Slim. We're talking about the biggest of the big.
Yeah.
There's self-made females who are born on the 28th who have theirs too. Susan Sandberg, CFO of Facebook. Jessica Alba, born on 28. They're self-made billionaires.
Yeah.
So when you see that number, it means a lot. But in your case, it means you probably grew up poor, didn't you?
Yeah. Grew up poor.
When you look at the shape of the 8, like this, 2 circles. That's thin.
Infinity sign.
We'll get to that. But that thinness in the middle equals middle class.
Yeah.
So you either been poor or rich, correct?
Yeah.
Have you ever been middle class?
No. Wait. I have been middle class.
How long?
Shit.
Not long.
Yeah, not too long.
Not long.
Not too long.
So again, either this or this. That's how it is with 8s, man.
Yeah.
As an 8, the other thing that it provides besides money is power.
Yeah.
So you and your son, and obviously your son being a vessel through you, were interested in power above all else, weren't they?
100%, but I don't know if I'm powerful yet. Keyword.
Yes.
Yes.
I like that in here.
Yeah.
You're obviously building a little bit of an empire here.
Yeah.
You have a legacy with your son that you're building. What are you doing to preserve his legacy?
Well, putting out content as much as I can.
Tell me who his idols were.
Kurt Cobain in The Weeknd.
Okay.
Kurt Cobain, I would love to do something with that estate.
Kurt, he's talking to you.
Yeah, he loved
He was
Kurt
a big
Cobain.
Kurt. Tell me who.
And The Weeknd.
With the people that he worked with, was there anyone who's like, oh my God, Mom, I can't believe I'm working with this guy?
No.
Not one time.
It was the craziest thing. I never seen him like fanned out.
Not
ever.
once.
I've never seen him fanned out. Ever.
I only did that once.
And
I was only fanned out once in my life.
Yeah, I've never seen him fanned out.
Once when I saw Donald Trump.
Yeah?
Yeah, I talked to him for a minute in Cleveland, Ohio in 2016. I told him he'd be the next president of the United States.
No way.
October 22nd, 2016. And it's interesting because he was walking down the whole line.
Yeah.
I was the only person he talked to. Everyone else he signed stuff for. Me, he talked to. I told him he'd be president. It looked like he didn't believe me.
Wow.
But I did get invited to his inauguration in 2017, and I did go to the White House in 2020. first numerologist ever to make the White House.
Wow.
So, that was the only time I was a little bit, but I've been around like pretty much all the celebrities I could give a damn less.
Yeah.
You know,
I've never.
How about you? Have you ever felt starstruck being around some of the people he's around?
I would say when I got around Kanye for the first time, I was just like, holy shit. And by the way, we're the only people that he's ever done a collab with Yeezy merch. He did a Yeezy and X collab together. And we have a few songs with him as well. I was just like, holy shit, like, I'm fucking sitting with fucking Ye doing a clothing collab. You know what I'm saying? That was kind of a moment for me. But I've been around Jay-Z and stuff like that. I think over time, like, it's just like the norm. Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't seem like you had the same feel around Jay-Z as you did around Ye.
Because I just kind of got used to, like, being around everyone.
So,
it's just like, okay.
Interesting about Ye, he's born on the 8th.
No way.
Yeah. He's born on the 8th. And again, he went from poor to billionaire.
Yeah.
And then, because he said something he probably...
And he knows some shit.
Regrets. He said,
yeah.
Of course he knows. He's born in the year of the snake. He knows a lot of stuff. You know, the interesting thing is, if he would have said now what he said last year, he's not getting canceled. Nothing's going to happen because now you have a war in Gaza with Israel and the Palestinians. Yeah. What he said now would not have got him suspended. Yeah. Because that's how much the world has changed from the time. Because right now everyone's saying the same thing Gay was saying about a year ago. Yeah. And you literally have millions of people saying the same thing. Yeah. Now it's different, but see, that's how it is. Yeah. Timing is everything. Look, you could be the smartest person in the world, have the best game plan. If your timing's off, it's over. It's over. Which is why numerology is important in astrology. Yeah, I pretty much considered it for a generic term, God's language. Yeah. Because, I tell people all the time, women lie, men lie, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. They never have, they never will. 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2 unless it's a master number, and master numbers never get reduced. When we go to your son and Ye and Jay-Z and all these other guys, did he ever come up to you and be like, yo, Mom, this dude's special? Who? My son saying about them? Yeah. No. Is there anyone? No. He never got a chance to meet Ye in person. Okay. I met Ye after he passed away. Okay. Yeah. And Jay after I passed away. The people he has met, has he ever said, yo, Mom, that dude? No, the only person, like I said, I've heard him talk about, like, that he was, like, idolized is The Weeknd and Kurt Cobain. Okay. And him and The Weeknd became friends, actually, too. They just didn't get a chance to collab. So hopefully that will happen. I mean, AI technology helps a lot now. Yeah, but I just feel like that's cheating. I was in the era with Tupac and Biggie. That was my era, okay? Yeah. I'm sure you remember that stuff, Absolutely. Too. We're around the same age. Yeah. East Coast, West Coast. And when both of them got killed, I definitely wasn't happy about that. Yeah. But AI has actually brought Tupac back to life in some ways. Yeah. AI has brought Biggie back to life in some ways. Technology is just the evolution of technology and evolution of humans the same. So if you can actually... It depends on what you're saying, because I want to do a hologram of him and plant it toward the world. So that's AI. But as far as like doing an actual AI album, I don't think I'm not saying an AI album. What I think is like whatever you have left. Yeah. Not an AI album, but more like a cyborg type of album where some of it is him and some of it is AI finishing what he couldn't. I'll give you an example. I would have to take a toll and see how his fans feel about that, because they are... Please do. His fans do not, There was a movie with Tupac. And Tupac was killed. Yeah. And they had to finish the movie. No way. Finished the movie, and we're talking about the 90s. What? I wasn't aware. So this is the 90s. I forgot what the damn movie was called. Is it All Eyes on Me? No, I don't remember. I really don't remember. It was a long time, 20 years ago, something like that. Yeah. But he was killed, and it wasn't many scenes left. but they had AI basically do the
I
rest
would
of
like
the
to
movie.
know who that company is that created that.
I would encourage, maybe take half what is real and half, because listen, we live in a day and age where people have pacemakers.
Yeah.
We live in a day and age where technology is keeping people alive. There's no reason it couldn't keep your son's memory alive to even a bigger audience. But you know what? That is something you should ask the fans.
Yeah.
That is something you should ask the
see
fans.
if they're interested in.
See if they're interested in that like that. Because at the end of the day, the way you're talking about him, the way, this conversation is going, it seems like he wanted them to have a say.
Yeah.
Is that did he ever tell you that, Mom?
No, he's never told me that, but I see how they react when I put out certain things, or I pay attention, so I kind of see what they want. But it's hard for me to, keep his legacy going and
is that your biggest challenge right now?
I think the biggest challenge is pleasing the fans. I think he has a bunch of majority of them are young kids that don't understand the nature of the business. They don't understand legacy. They don't understand any of it. You know what I mean? And so they're not looking at, okay, this is a mom that has unfinished songs that needs to be put out, or that he signed a contract for these songs. Like, they don't understand any of that. So
is this something you understood before you passed away?
What?
The nature of the business?
Oh, yeah. I was managing everything for him.
Since you've been managing him, have you seen any bias because you're a woman or you're his mother or something like that?
Nah.
No?
I haven't had any issues.
Nothing,
thankfully.
And you just got that mouthpiece on you.
And fucking lawyers. Yeah, I don't really have any issues. Thank God for that.
Are you still a Christian?
No. I believe in God, though.
You believe in God?
There is a creator, for sure, 100%. I don't believe in anything that I've been taught or told anymore. I'm trying to unlearn a lot of this shit and figure it out. And
goats tend to be very religious.
Really?
Yeah. It makes sense why you were very religious at one time. And if you look at Iran, Iran is the only religious government in the world. It's a theocracy.
Yeah.
And they were founded in 1979, the year of the goat.
Oh, wow.
Now, when it comes down to that, a lot of people who are goats, they go for the natural evolution, because goat is one of those signs. I'm interested in religion. I'm also interested in numerology and astrology. They're like one of those signs who are interested in both.
In both.
Not that many people are interested in both. They're either one way or the other.
Yeah.
And I've said this many times. I'll say it again. The best when it comes to the occult are snakes.
Yeah.
Snakes are the best. I'll take a bow.
Kanye.
There you go. Now you get it. The second best are goats. Goats just naturally get this stuff.
Yeah.
Goats are also very accustomed to the finer things in life. And you know exactly how to get them, don't you?
Touche.
You flexed out, watch a little bit more. Is there anything you want to tell the fans, not from anything that's already been out there, but more so what he wanted the fans to learn? If he was coming to you to learn numerology and astrology and all those things, you would probably assume he wanted his fans to learn stuff like that too.
I would, but he was very vocal. In his documentary, I was careful to put him in it. There was so much documented where he can tell you himself. The last thing that I just put out, he's talking about a lot of this stuff. So I don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Because it's different. Like, hearing it from the goat's mouth is different.
But you're the closest connection they have now to the goat's mouth.
Besides Little Gecko.
There you go. Talk us a little about Little Gecko.
He's sweet. He's gorgeous. I can't really tell if he has his dad's personality yet, because he's 4, but he definitely has his eyes.
Eyes are windows to the soul.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to have his dad's personality. I think so. He was born 3 days after. Dad's the 23rd, and he's born on the 26th.
Oh, Aquarius. Did he ever talk about you being Aquarius and him being Aquarius?
Have he? I'm trying to think if we had a conversation about that. I'm sure we probably have.
We're in the age of Aquarius now. The age of Aquarius started.
When did it start?
Started 9/11/2001.
And we're still in the age of Aquarius?
We're going to be in the age of Aquarius for 2,000 years.
No way. What does that say? What does that say for me?
Well, let's go back a little bit first. Mm-hmm. Before the age of Aquarius started, we were in the age of Pisces. In the age of Pisces, religion dominated. Because Pisces, just like goat's the most religious sign in Chinese astrology, Pisces is the most religious sign in Western astrology. Mm-hmm. That's why the Pope wears a fish hat to symbolize the age of Pisces. The guy who did more to spread Christianity than any other person in history is not Julius Caesar or Augustus Caesar. It's a guy by the name of Constantine.
My dad's name is Constantine. I cannot make this shit up.
Constantine and Cleopatra. Love it.
I swear to God. I swear.
History. I love history, man.
Yeah.
I love history. So your dad's name is Constantine. And the Constantine from the history books, he was one of 4 Roman emperors when the Rome was split into 4 different empires. He had the smallest army, yet he defeated all the 3 other guys. He reunified Rome under Christianity. And he was a Pisces who did that in the age of Pisces. The reason I'm bringing this up is because in the age of Pisces, Pisces did their thing. Now we're in the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius started on 9/11/2001. Obviously, people know what happened that day. The Twin Towers went down. But I want you to understand something. They built those Twin Towers in 1968. This is where we start getting the conspiracy stuff.
Yeah.
1968, it goes down 2001. That's 33 years apart. So basically, this was all planned, okay? This was 100% planned. So they wanted to bring in the age of Aquarius with a bang. So they made sure to bring these Twin Towers up, who coincidentally look like the number 11. They both have 110 stories. New York City, 11 letters. The Pentagon, 11 letters. Even that plane that went down in the middle of nowhere was called Shanksville, 11 letters. So you start looking at all this stuff, and you're like, okay, is this possible? This is a coincidence? And then I was always a history buff. And I remember World War I ended 11/11 at exactly 11 o'clock. They're still firing bullets at each other at 10:55, but 11 they stopped. So at that point, when I realized, yo, someone's doing something through history here. Yeah. I didn't know what was going on. I was like one of those guys. I see smoke. I just don't know where the fire is coming from. At that point, I started studying this stuff. And what I realized not too long after was Aquarius is the 11th sign.
Really?
Yes. And in the age of Aquarius, Aquarius is dominant. While Bill Gates and Elon Musk are not Aquariuses, the richest person I personally know, I can't say his name because he'll get mad. Yeah. But, you know, he's worth a lot, billions. He's an Aquarius. You're doing pretty well in life. You're an Aquarius. Your son has a lot of influence, even from the grave. He's an Aquarius. So Aquariuses right now are the richest sign there is as a whole. Obviously not the richest, but as a whole. And that's because we're in the age of Aquarius. So your son and the type of energy he had, it's resonating all over because he's an Aquarius in the age of Aquarius. This would not have happened if he was in Tupac's day, because we were still in the age of Pisces back then. Is this making sense? Yeah. And another, a lot of the kids are talking about global warming now and the sea levels rising. Yo, it's all true. The difference is, look at the sign of Aquarius. What is it? It's a water bear. It's not a water sign. The water signs are Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. It's an air sign and a water bear. What it's basically symbolizing, when it's the age of Aquarius, the sea levels are going to rise. It also symbolizes knowledge is going to start flowing. Your son, most likely, not just because he's an Aquarius, but because he's a 33 also, was out here to spread that knowledge. Because, listen, I've done some things that, like, your son was, getting in fights to get internet fame. I've done some stuff like going around OnlyFans, broads, and I'm using the term lightly, okay, just to do interviews, get the new. But, it's not the stuff I enjoy the most, but I did it to get the profile up there. Right. And he did the exact same thing. So he basically was like me in a sense. He got a game plan. He wanted to establish it. Once he got enough, he flipped gears real quick. And when I told people I was going to interview Barack Obama's brother, no one believed me.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. He came down to Florida, sunny Isles.
Wow.
So when I helped the Golden State Warriors win multiple championships.
Wow.
How did I do that? I told a player to sign with the Golden State Warriors in 2015.
Yeah.
2013. He won the MVP in 2015, and that title run started going. So it's a little snowball effect. If I don't tell Andre and his team to basically sign with Golden State, guess what? Curry, Steph, you guys ain't having those 4 championships right now. There's no way in hell, because he was the MVP of 2015. A 33 put that together. I'm the reason LeBron doesn't have 7 championships. Thank you, brother. You know, same reason your son has this pull. You probably don't even understand how many people your son has touched. I have been down here in Florida for, I don't know, like 9 months or something like that. I have students down here. Some of my students have told me your son is the reason they're in music. I just talked to you the first time like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. Okay.
They're telling me your son is specifically, I'm the reason they're into numerology and astrology. Your son is into why they're into music. You see how the 33s are influencing all over?
Yeah.
It's a shame I couldn't talk to your son back in the day.
Yeah.
He would have really enjoyed the conversation we would have had. We're probably here together is, I believe the last year of the year makes a big difference. We're in the year 2023. A lot of the stars of 2023 happen to be born on the 23rd. A guy named Zerka, Matan, a couple other guys. They just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they started dominating. Is it safe to say that your son has had a very successful year this year, even though he's not around anymore? Has his music spread even more this year?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So even from the grave, somehow he made sure that me and you get in contact with each other, because he wanted me somehow to probably finish what he couldn't start and start teaching you some of this stuff and how it actually works in everyday life. Does this make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't believe in coincidences.
No such thing.
At all.
Anyways, I want to thank you so much for this interview. Is there anything else you'd like the people to know about your son? Not just his music, but what did he love besides his mother? What did he do in his free time besides read? Is there anything like meditate? Is there anything he did?
He loved video games.
Love video games? Which one?
Kingdom Hearts, Fortnite. Yeah.
I keep hearing that Fortnite. I've never played it myself, but I mean, so he was a Fortnite player, huh?
And Kingdom Hearts. Yeah.
What's the thing you miss most about him?
Oh gosh, he was so loving. He was a mama's boy.
He was a mama's
boy. His first tattoo was Cleopatra across his chest, and I was furious about it.
What did you say?
I was screaming.
I love my mother, but I'm not going to fucking put that shit out.
He was like 15, and he kept saying he wanted to get a tattoo, and I was like, no fucking way. And he went out and did it himself. It was all crooked and fucked up, and but it was Cleopatra. And I didn't ever get to dance with him, or...
Never got to dance with him? What do you
mean? Like, dance, which is, dance.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah, or even go with him to collect any awards or anything like that. I didn't get a chance to do any of those things.
Do you do that now?
I do it on my own.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, just the things that I would have loved to, be a part of. I missed out on, but...
maybe that's why he chose you to be his mother.
Because I'm the GOAT.
Literally. Literally. I think that's a good way to end it.
I hope you enjoyed the video and the content. Smash the like button if you did. And also turn on the notification bell for future videos. If you're interested in numerology, I have a new book being released on the 28th of October this year called Numerology Astrology, Breaking the Matrix. If you're interested in numerology, this book will change your life and you will never look at numbers ever again the same. Until next time, thank you for joining me. Take care of yourself and I'll see you in the next video.